Om Shri Sai Ram, Jnana Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, Chapter 4, Mind Alone Causes Bondage and Liberation. Look at the clouds that wander across the sky. Note that they have no intimate lasting relationship with the sky. Such is the relationship between your body and you. That is to say, you who are of the nature of Paramatma, that is Godhead, the Supreme Self. The body is but a temporary passing phase. How can wakefulness, dream, sleep, and other states of the body affect in any way the Paramatma, the real you? What of your shadow? Is it not something separate from you? Does its plight have any impact on you in any way? Understand that the same is the relationship between the body and your true self, that is Paramatma. If you consider this body, which is made up of a bundle of flesh and bone, as real you, then where is that body which you call mine? Pondering over this is the beginning of jnana. This physical frame or body built out of Panchabhutas, that is the five elements, either air, fire, water and earth, is only a contrived form born out of avidya or unawareness and ajnana, ignorance. Did this body exist before birth? Does it persist after death? No. It appears and disappears with an interval of existence. Therefore, it is meaningless. It is merely a product of the trickster known as mind. Your true nature is Sat, Chit, Ananda, or being, awareness, bliss. What was clay that took the form of pot and pan and plate and after an interval becomes clay once again, shapeless clay? So too, because it is with names and forms, the purpose of the life that happens in a time frame interval is meaningless. For the true being of Satchitananda, all forms are He, everything is He. Therefore, you are the Paramatma, Supreme Self, above and beyond the past, present and future. You are not this body which is bound to change with time. The one who is aware of this conception and dwells constantly in the thought that I am Parabrahman is regarded as a jnani. That mind is in bondage, which craves for objects, for the company of people, and prefers this location or that. That mind is liberated, which is not attached to any of these cravings. Therefore, anuragam or attachment or affection is bondage, and death, non-attachment, is liberation and living forever. Maniyeva Manushyanam Karanam Bandha Mokshaho. For man, mind alone causes bondage and grants liberation. The mind runs after an object, gets attached to it, which leads to the agitation of the senses and eventually results into action. Bhaya or fear and krodha or anger are the closest comrades of anuragam, that is attachment or affection, the comrades dearest to its heart. Where there is anuragam, there is bhaya and krodha. They are all three inseparable companions, moving always together. That is why even Patanjali mentioned as follows about anuragam: Sukhyani Sahi Ragaha. It is asakti or attachment that attracts Sokhya or sensual pleasures or enjoyments. So, whatever gives Sokhya is all basically anuragam. adherence to objects that give sensual pleasures or enjoyments is the cause of asakti or attachment. Asakti causes desires, desires lead to anger. All these together make one caught in the wheel of dualities of pains and pleasures, good and bad, and turns him distressed and anxious. And this is what ajnana or ignorance is. When impure gold is melted in the crucible, its impurities are removed and it emerges shining and bright. Likewise, through profound viveka or discrimination and vichara, inquiry, impurities of anger and desires and delusions of rajas and tamas are removed, and the vision of shining brilliance of Atma Jnana or the knowledge of the Self is attained. Like the dark clouds that obscure the resplendent sun are dispersed by gale force winds, if the vasanas or the tendencies, sankalpas or thoughts and trishnas, cravings that blacken the mind are destroyed, it can merge in the splendorous Parabrahman or the Supreme Self, Godhead. Whatever the crisis, however deep the misery, do not allow your grip over the mind to get loose. Tighten it further, fixing your eyes on the higher values. One should surrender to the Atma by attaining pure Antakaranas, Buddhi, that is intellect, chitta, collection of notions, tendencies, ideas and memories, and ahamkaram, that is sense of ego. Then one can proceed from the Savikalpa Samadhi to the Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Delusion must disappear without even a trace. Then only one can attain Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and that is the basis for the absolute Atma Jnana or the knowledge of the Self to dawn. Once Parabrahma is attained, through Nirvikalpa Samadhi all bonds of avidya, that is unawareness or ignorance, karma, kama, etc. fall away, and one is genuinely fully free. Atma Sandarshana or the vision or realization of the Atma is possible only through the mind that is engaged in Samadhi, that is complete absorption in Brahman or Godhead. The snake shoves off its coil and has nothing more to do with it. Develop that attitude of non-attachment towards the body. Escape from the body delusion. Only then one can become successful in his endeavor to experience Brahma Jnanam. The weak souls can never grasp this fact. By Atma Chintana, that is constant meditation on the Atma and its glory, one can gradually come out of the tangles of the world and worldly affairs. This requires a lot of patience and incessant practice of the spiritual discipline. The sadhaka or the spiritual aspirant who is earnest would divert all his attention and effort from the worldly affairs and sensory pleasures and fix them on inquiring about the eternal Brahman. He considers it as the highest tapas or penance. Man did not arise merely to wallow in casual joy and fleeting happiness of this temporal world. It is insane to believe so. Identifying oneself with the I and getting attached to mine, that ahamkaram or egoism, is the root cause for such insane belief or attitude. Where there is no ahamkaram, there will be no cognizance of the external world. When the external world is not cognized, the ego cannot exist. The wise one, therefore, will detach himself from the world by exercising his Vichakasana Shakti or the power of discretion and behave ever as an instrument or agent of the Lord. Once, in the midst of conversation for the benefit of the world, sage Vashishta spoke thus to Lord Rama: "Listen, O Rama, the valiant, the Jiva, or the individual soul, is a bull reclining in the shade of Moham, delusion of a vastly spreading tree in the forest, samsara or cycle of worldly existence. It is bound by the ropes of desires, and so it is infected by the diseases of fleas and insects. It rolls in the mire of papa karmas, that is sinful deeds, while struggling in the dark night of ignorance and beaten by the blemishes of worldly desires only to slake the thirst of the senses. In such a scenario, can cross this dreadful forest of samsara only through the help of the good company of noble and wise souls. So, through viveka or discrimination and vichara or inquiry, one should achieve vijnana or higher wisdom, and through vijnana one should grasp the yathartha or the truth. This is what is called as Atma Sakshatkaram, or the realization of the Atma, or Atma Jnanam, knowledge of the Atma. That Atma Jnanam is the ultimate goal of life, that is the Turiya Tita, the state of witness consciousness, which is beyond the fourth state of waking, dreaming, deep sleep, and fourth state Turiya. But one point has to be clearly noted and remembered always. Mere giving up of infatuation towards external activities connected with the satisfaction of sensory desires is not enough. The internal cravings have to be completely uprooted. The word Trishna covers both these, the internal and the external desires and cravings. The desire which comes after the destruction of both the outer and inner desires and cravings is called Mukta Trishna, that is desire and craving for liberation. So long as the Trishnas keep multiplying, the mind is filled with agitations and restlessness. Realization of the Atma alone can destroy all Trishnas. When such Jnani declares, "I am Brahman," he is uttering the truth from the sincerity of his experience. When the gross and the subtle bodies are transcended, when the manas or mind, the buddhi, intellect, and the prana or life force are sublimated and transcended, that is to say, when the self is no longer bound by the feelings, thoughts, impulses, and instincts, what remains is only Sat, existence itself, or Parabrahman, that is Supreme Self. Hence, the Jnani feels one with the omnipresent, the omnipotent Lord, Sarveshvara. On the other hand, the one without proper training and practice of spiritual discipline considers his physical frame itself as the ultimate Parabrahman. Sat, Chit, Ananda means that which exists eternally. Nirakara means without akara or form. What form can we posit to Paramatma, who is all-pervasive and all-inclusive? Para or Param means that which is greater than all. So, Parabrahman indicates that where exists nothing greater than this in the three worlds. He is Advaita, meaning non-dual. The lesson that it teaches is there should be only one thing that can be called eternal, and so two can never be eternal. If there are two, differences arise. When there is a difference, conflict is inevitable. Brahman is all-pervasive. Therefore, it is only of one fundamental unified continuous form, which is indivisible. Realizing this is true Jnanam, the highest wisdom. Jai Sai Ram.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ